Randy the Rutabaga and Beepa in A Beach House on the Moon by Beepa Amit, illustrated by Beepa Amit. Randy the Rutabaga was at Beepa's house for a cookout. After a wonderful dinner, not bunny stew, they sat outside and listened to Beepa's favorite singer, Jimmy Buffett. As the next song started, Beepa gave a little laugh. What's so funny, Beepa? Well, this song is called Beach House on the Moon, but I can do better. I have a billboard on the moon. Beepa and Randy on the patio. Randy didn't know what to think. Beepa had a billboard on the moon? That's crazy. Whatever do you mean, Beepa? You can't have a billboard on the moon. Beepa looked at Randy and gave a little laugh. Well, I kinda do. I mean, I make it up in my head, but it works. Randy was even more confused. Whatever do you mean, Beepa? Why would you want a billboard on the moon in the first place? Second, what are you trying to sell? Beepa had a sip of his root beer and tried to explain it to Randy what he meant. You see, Randy, when I was young, I joined the Army to fly helicopters. It was before I married Bea. I was still living with my mom and dad and 2 brothers. Well, off to basic training and flight school I went. I was gone 1.5 years before I finished. As you can guess, I got lonesome once in a while. I wanted to call home, but the rules would not let me for the first 2 months, 60 days. Oh, I wrote letters and sent them off on snail mail, but it took over a week for them to get my letters. Well, one night, I was feeling a little lonely, went outside for some fresh air, and there was a big old full moon. It was giant. Well, I knew my family was probably outside looking at that old moon, and that's when it happened. I thought my best thought about how I wished my family knew I was all right, and how I missed them, and how happy I was to learn to fly helicopters. Somehow that old moon bounced my thoughts to my family. How do I know? A few weeks later, I got a letter from home that said when they were looking at the full moon, they knew everything was all right. Oh, look at that. Well, after that, when I was away from Bea, I would look up at the moon and let her know how much I loved her and missed her. Then when we had kids, when I was in the field or on the other side of the earth, I knew they would see the same moon that I did, and I would tell them how much I missed them and loved them. The Statue of Liberty in New York City. A castle in Ireland. Waikiki Beach in Hawaii. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Würzburg, Germany. Randy was enjoying the story, but asked Beepa, yeah, I kind of get it, but what about this billboard you keep talking about? Beepa gave a little laugh, took a long sip of his root beer. Well, Randy, after hearing Jimmy's song about the beach house on the moon, I figured if he could have a house, I sure could have me a billboard. That way, anytime the Rutababies looked up at the moon, they could see the billboard and see what it says. Beepa loves you. Well, a little tear welled up in Randy's eye, and he said to Beepa, well, if you have a billboard, I want one too. So whenever you feel lonesome or blue, just look up to the sky and know that 1, Beepa and Randy have a billboard on the moon. 2, it circles the earth day and night. And 3, it says, I love you. You are loved. You are needed. And Beepa points to the moon. The end.